So many of us have been through really difficult processes of saying goodbye to a loved pet.
And research shows that grief can be really intense, sometimes debilitating. So Hope Baker from the Jefferson Center for Mental Health is here now to talk about this really specific kind of grief. Thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I think this is a really important topic and something that a lot of people experience. It's a real and valid experience. You know, for a lot of people, including me, our pets are a vital part of our family, and even though we know that it's not going to last forever, it can be a really devastating loss. And a large percentage of pet owners report symptoms of grief following the loss of a pet.
You know, obviously, I feel like this is a no-doubt question I'm going to ask you, but what is it there that we just have these instant connections? We want to protect them at all costs, and it hits us so much harder, you know, when you lose a pet.
Yeah, so that's a great question, because we have, if you own a pet and you've lost a pet, you've experienced it. The thing about losing a pet is that, similar to our attachment with a human, we form a very secure bond with our pets, right? They're a little creature that we love and we care for every day, and they love us back unconditionally, except for maybe requiring some treats from time to time. And for some people, our pets are our only consistent companion. And so that's what makes the loss so difficult. It's a break of that attachment.
Why does this feel so comparable to many when it comes to even like losing a family member?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it comes back to we form that bond with the animal, and if you think about it, with animals, we don't have conflicts over money or religion or politics, and so you know, again, it's a very pure attachment to your animal and a little creature that you've cared for every day. And so if you experience grief symptoms like, for example, feeling shock or disbelief, sometimes even sleep disruption, sometimes physical symptoms, right, like headache, stomach ache, even heart palpitations. It's similar to the loss of a family member, right, because it's how much we love is how much we grieve.
Some people have reported, I want to piggyback off Corey's question, that they feel judged whenever they're grieving the loss of a pet. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah, I think, you know, after we lose a pet, there isn't the same response, right? There's no meal trains or people showing up with, or oftentimes there aren't those things, right? The flowers. And I think it's because we maybe don't have that awareness, the same awareness of the effect of a loss of a pet. And so I think that is something to keep in mind, right? If you experience grief after the loss of a pet, or if someone you know experiences grief, giving them the space to experience what they experience, and giving yourself space to experience the grief after that loss, because it's important for us to acknowledge our feelings as valid and to give ourselves the chance to process those things. And then, you know, if you find that those experience or what you're experiencing is getting in the way of your day-to-day, or maybe affecting your relationships or keeping you from doing what you need to do, remember that you can reach out for help from places like Jefferson Center or your local mental health you know, agency. It is a valid reason to reach out for support.
It really is such great information. I'm glad we're talking about it. I mean, I think whenever someone gets an animal, a pet, you know that this day will come, but you're never prepared for it. It can be so heavy and so hard. So Hope, thank you so much for coming in. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Weather-wise for it today, hot again. One more day of this intense heat before we really cool down for it tomorrow. That'll last into your